Hello there everybody, welcome to yet another video. It is me, Nosy, and it is, as you can see by the title page, I'm indeed doing a Transformers review. Oh yeah, on one of my recent pickups, I've had this figure for a little bit now, and it is about damn time I get this thing reviewed now, isn't it? So, without further ado, is my review on Shattered Glass Blurr. Stay tuned for the review. Okay, so here we have the awesome. This figure is amazing. I absolutely love this figure. I'm a fan of the idea of Shattered Glass as well. I mean, some people aren't, some people are, but there we go. So yes, isn't it a glorious, glorious thing? I do have the regular Blurr, but I'm going to deliberately do them separately because, of course, they are two separate versions of each other. So I'm doing this one, and then I'm going to do a review on the other guy, and then once I've done both, I'm going to do a comparison. Once I've reviewed both of them, I'm going to do a comparison of them both, side by side. So yeah, there we go. So, yes, isn't it lovely? Really cool. I really do love this, like, lightning, kind of like a blue lightning on his black bits here, which looks really pretty cool. I do like how his weapons go in. You got this thing which, it looks like a petrol can of doom. That's all I can really describe it as, but yeah, that thing goes there and then it comes out as a actual weapon in, so you can store it well. His accessories are storable, which is really cool. He looks great. I mean, this mould, as it were, has been used quite a few times. Obviously, there is I believe this, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe this mould was used for an RC figure, I believe, as well, maybe slightly retooled. Maybe slightly retooled, but I believe the base mould for this guy was also used for an RC, and obviously 86 Studio Series Blurr is obviously the original version of this, and then obviously we've got the Shattered Glass version. He looks amazing, doesn't he? He just looks so cool. I absolutely love. I mean, this mode is pretty cool. But, if you see it, you can definitely tell it is indeed Blurr. It's unmistakably, Blurr. And I just love the idea of the Autobots being evil in this timeline. Some people have this kind of, the whole idea of Shattered Glass kind of leaves a little bit of a bad, bitter taste in some fans' mouths. People don't like it being tampered with, which I can understand to a certain degree. But it's just, I find it an interesting thing that, it all started out simply as a convention exclusive. I believe, was it TFCon or San Diego Comic Con, one of the two, that started it all off as a timeline comic book. And then they started making recolors of certain figures like Optimus and so on and so forth as convention exclusives. And then it's just become kind of like a phenomenon within the fan base. It's kind of like, it started off kind of, it started off as just a way for them to do exclusives at a convention, really. But it's pretty cool that it's now coming back into the mainstream Shattered Glass properly. Again, it's not the first time Shattered Glass has ever been mentioned or figures have constantly been coming out for this for Shattered Glass, which is cool. I mean, I definitely want to get myself a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime at some point. Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to get the rest of the Shattered Glass figures that come out in the range with Blurr. There's a Megatron, I believe, and a Ratchet and Optimus, which I believe was a 2-pack. Who else has come out? I can't remember. I cannot remember. But anyway, so there's been a few of them that have come out recently, as well as this guy. So, he looks pretty darn awesome. Let's have a quick look at underneath here. It folds in quite nicely. His feet here aren't really well done. That's me, not the figure. But, you know, it does kind of, once you get it all pegged in and ported in and everything, it does actually work out quite nicely. It's actually a really well hidden figure underneath. You know, you can definitely tell these are the legs at the back, but apart from that, you really can't really tell which bits are which is the whole idea of robot in disguise and such. So this alt mode, or this figure is, you know, it has a great alt mode and it also has a great robot mode. So let's transform him, shall we? Let's get rid of his weapons, or his accessories. Let's just have a quick look at these actually while I can. Really nice blaster. This is exactly the same blaster mould as the Studio Series 86 Blurr, exactly the same, but that one is completely white, so they've gone with like a gunmetal, just more like a grey colour for this version. It is a nice blaster. It's got a lot of nice little detailing on that. And then it comes with this, which it looks like a petrol can. I'm guessing it's possibly a welder, maybe like a welding thing, so you can kind of torch people's eyes out, or optics, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what that is, but this is kind of his thing. His other accessory, will it do it? There we go. So he comes with that as well. So then, let's transform him. So first things first, just kind of unpeg the side bits out, like that. Just bring them to the sides. Then these bits, these blue purple bits, these that are out, these close inwards, like that. And then these bits that I just prized, these come up like that and just peg into place, so we'll just leave those there for now. So he kind of looks like he's waving like he just don't care. Yeah. And then we'll come to these legs. What am I doing? Yeah, need to part them. There we go. Part them. There we go. Let me just get... So the legs, you just kind of part them, unpeg them, and they kind of unrelease like that. And then that allows you then to bring them down, like so. And then once you've done that, you can then... This antenna bit, which is for the alt mode, you know, his signature thing, that goes back in, and then you kind of just close them back up. Let me give you a minute. Yeah, that's, I think. There we go, yep. So it just pegs into place, the leg, and then you just bring the foot back like that. So that's one leg now done. Let me just show you again on the other side. So it comes down, fold it back in like that, and then bring the foot as well. Now what you do is these bits you kind of just swivel back down to his sides like that, and then these flaps, actually you don't really have to bother about these flaps, it doesn't really matter. It's just basically in the instructions it tells you to unflap, or these flaps, these purple flappy bits here, it tells you to do that, but you don't really have to, because yeah, you can just do that. It's just a way to just to hide the hands, so you basically just bring them up like that. You don't really have to bother with flipping that panel around. So once you've done that with those bits and bring them up like that, you then swivel those bits back around because they are backwards. So they are actually now facing the right direction, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so you're basically just backwards on each other there. And now the chest piece, swivel right round to the robot mode version of it, like that. Okay, so just swivel, just on the swivel point there. So see, you just swivel that. And then this bit, canopy bit, just comes down and straight in there. So what I love about this figure is everything just really nicely pops into place and snaps into place. Really cool. So I think, yes, that is him done. Yes, it is. And there he is. There is Shattered Glass Blurr in robot mode. Come on, focus. There we go. I absolutely love that head sculpt. That head sculpt is just absolutely fantastic. It's just a very menacing head sculpt, really cool. And then give you a look at his chest there, little Autobot, Autobot signature in his chest. He is just a really nice figure. He really is. Really well proportioned. Everything's really well proportioned on him, and he just looks so cool in this colour scheme. I just love the colour scheme. Of course, it's just the same colours, but they're just reversed. So the but with I think they have gone with more of just the gunmetal grey parts to him, because obviously the Studio Series 86 Blur, he has a lot of white on him, as well as the lighter blue, which is kind of his signature look. But with this one, it's gone for the dark purples, the blacks, and more like a gunmetal grey, and then it's gone for the lightning streaks in blue as well. So, yeah. He looks so cool, doesn't he? He just looks so cool. So, yeah, let's just have a look at his articulation then. One thing I do love about this figure, he does actually come with, he's got, ratchety joints in a certain way. So they're not like standard joints in his arms. They are actually like a ratchet joint. So, unfortunately, you don't hear them. You might hear them a little bit, but they are actually kind of like a ratchety kind of thing. But yeah, so you've got this really interesting amount of play in there, because this thruster bit is movable for his shoulder bit, so it completely allows you to get pretty good free rein there. And then obviously you've got the elbow. Do you have swivel of the hand? Let me have a look. Yes, you do. Then slight bob up and down and 360 swivel of the head. Also has 360 swivel of the waist. The legs can come up there, bend at the knee, and pivot of the foot. So he has a really good range of articulation as well, which is all well and good for those of us that like to pose our figures. And I do love to pose my figures. Who doesn't? So, there he is. So let's bring in then his accessories. This one, if you want to, depends. It's all up to you where you want to put that, whether you want it on this arm or that arm. And then you bring in his blaster, and that goes in there, like so. And there we go then. There he is, all armoured up. The only criticism I do have with this figure is these arm bits are supposed to peg in there and possibly stay snug and stop moving about. But on mine, they are really loose. They actually don't... They don't peg in. They just kind of flop about. That's a little criticism of him. It's a bit annoying. It would be nice if those recesses that are in his arm where they come up, whether it was a bit more better so that it actually kind of goes straight into there and it kind of stops them from flapping around in robot mode. But what can you do? That's just a little gripe I have with him. I believe that's for both the Studio Series Blurr as well, the 86 one. They are both exactly the same figure, so that possibly has the same situation as well. But it's just one of those things. That's the only gripe I have, is these arm bits really don't peg in properly. But the most part, he is a beautiful figure, really great colour scheme, colour palette on him. I just love how menacing that head sculpt is. It is so cool. Such a cool figure. I recommend him to anybody. He's a really cool figure. So yeah, there's my review on Shattered Glass Blurr. Thank you ever so much for watching. Again, thank you very much for your support on the channel. I really appreciate all your love and support. Also, I've gone up by, I think, 10 subscribers recently. So big thank you to all the recent subscribers, all the new ones that have decided to join my channel or subscribe to me on here. Thank you ever so much for joining and subscribing, and I hope you enjoy what I produce in the future on this channel and the stuff I've already have produced. That's been up for a long while. So thank you very much, and see you soon. Stay awesome, stay safe, and remember, you are awesome. Never forget it. Bye-bye.